UConn Husky in the house, Caron.
Cardiac Kimber.
All-star starter. Congrats to him. He tips off against the Chicago Bulls at 7. Speaking of an all-star, Rex D'Angelo Russell.
Yes, Louisville, Kentucky, baby. Oh, that's one Kentucky reference. I'm going for a bunch today.
Man, that boy had a heck of a season. Congratulations, young fella.
And Giannis Antetokounmpo, you know, he's picking teams. I guess that's what happens when you're in the MVP conversation. You guys recognize the guy in front of him, Jason Smith? Very good guy as well.
But he in the Capitol tonight. As a rookie, he's saying, I'm very happy to be here.
Luka Doncic, congrats to him as well. Western Conference Rookie of the Month. He tips off at 7:30 against Cleveland. You know, he's questionable for this one. That smile looks like he's ready to give it.
I thought we was just about to announce that he got Rookie of the Year. Might as well put that out.
We can.
Oh, you just spoiling stuff, huh?
It's the real.
Breaking news on Twitter from Caron Butler. Boom! Welcome to Game Time Live, presented by State Farm. And you see this crew here, Chris Miles here with Rex Chapman and Caron Butler. That means respect knuckles all the way around. We're a team here. 12 games tonight. That means 24 teams in action. That's some easy, quick math. That's a busy Saturday night for you. You guys ready for this?
I'm ready.
Am I?
Hey, you got anything for sale tonight? Huh?
I got drip for sale.
Is that right?
I got, shout out to Plies, it's my man. We got drip for sale all night.
Well, one game already in action right now. Let's get right to it. The Pistons and the Clippers. And Blake Griffin, I believe he has drip for sale against his former team. Oh, Steve Ballmer. Remember last time, January 12th, those two had some issues before the game.
You try to give me no dap.
That's exactly right.
Look at that. Blake heating up, and the Pistons jump out to a huge lead. It's Reggie Bullock also splashing and cashing.
Shoots that thing.
They're having a good season.
Reggie Jackson also from outside. You see the theme here, fellas. 8 for 11 from three-point range in the first quarter. You kidding me?
Ooh. Ooh.
Pistons jump out to a 32-13 lead, and Blake Griffin.
Flashback.
Who said he can't fly no more?
Flashback.
Go, Gaddy, hop.
Look at Boban. Boban's like, no, I want it.
Fouls right out of there.
Look at Barbara. How did he still do that? I'm different.
Blake continuing to cook in the third quarter.
Oh, he's just toying with guys right now. I mean, he's playing in slow motion. What was that?
Did you watch a video or Come Fly With Me or something on the way to the arena?
Right.
Blake Griffin, 24 points and counting. Detroit ahead by 11. And, you know, that's an interesting difference between the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference. These two teams fighting for the final playoff spot in both the East and the West. But the Clippers have 28 wins. And then the Pistons have just 22 wins on the season, just a game out in that 8th spot in the East.
Yeah, you know what? Look, that's always been the case when you're talking about the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference. However, you know, you got to tip your hat off to the Pistons. They're playing exceptionally well. Blake Griffin just got the I don't know if it's his 5th or 6th All-Star nod now. So now he's playing amazingly well, and they're feeding off that momentum, and they're trending in the right direction.
It's always a shift. I mean, it was a shift back. It was always Eastern Conference when I was playing. I'm old, though. Now but it's the same.
Caron's like, I don't remember that.
Nah, he couldn't.
I was following Rex.
He was a wizard. I was a bullet.
Yeah. See, that's a huge difference.
I do remember the difference.
Bullets
here
are
in
kind
DC, in the
of
nation's
bullets
capital.
are kind of hard, you know, right? Wizards are sort of not as hard.
What?
Bullets? I mean, if you got the
Here's
bullets.
the thing, Rex. The guy's nickname is Tough Juice.
I know, but
I don't know if we want to go there.
Imagine how
with him.
tough he would have been if he'd have played for the Bullets.
Hey, man, I'm glad they changed it to the Wizards because there was a lot of things happening out there in the community, and we had to change the name.
All right, I'll go with
Speaking
that.
of changes, how about Anthony Davis? In case you haven't heard, he's looking to change and play for a new team. Let's hear from him now.
I feel like it's my time. You know, I gave the city, organization, fans, you know, everything I feel like I could. Don't know how long I'm gonna play this game. People's careers are short, you know, and I feel like it's my time to move on.
Was there an ultimatum issued about wanting to go to the Lakers?
No, I never gave me or my representation never gave Pelicans, a destination or anything. So I'm not sure where that's coming from. Maybe the connection, with my representation, but we never gave the Pelicans a destination.
So you would be willing to play elsewhere other than in one place?
It's really not. It's on the Pelicans.
Anthony, did you and your representation talk about the fact that if you're not traded by the deadline, you potentially may have to sit out the rest of this season and won't be able to play?
My intentions is to play. I've been working to get my finger back healthy. Obviously, it's a tough situation, but my intention is to still play. And when I'm able to play, I plan on suiting up.
What was the thought process of making your request public?
All those questions. You contact my agent. He's more than happy to inform you guys on that.
Was the timing? Obviously, was that when the decision was made, or had you thought about that before, and it just became the time to do it?
Time for what?
Of announcing your request. Had you made up your mind before that, or was it just there was a realization and then you had the conversation?
Obviously, you think about stuff, and we just felt like that time, actually the day wasn't planned, and honestly, my reputation didn't drop the story or leak the story or anything like that. Someone else had gave it to a reporter. A reporter called my agent and asked him, was this true? So we never wanted to leak it to the media. Wanted to do everything in-house, but that wasn't on us.
Was the timing determined to get a trade before the before the deadline?
I just thought, doing it sooner than later, not just for myself, just out of respect for the organization. Ms. Benson, they've done everything for me, the fans, the community. So giving them an opportunity and enough time to be able to make a decision best for the organization.
Was there anything in particular that happened that made you say, okay, now's the time to make the request, or is it?
When and why did this organization not give you the confidence that you could win a championship here, that you could win at a high level? Like you said, that's the reason that you wanted to leave.
Like I said, I just feel like it's my time, and it's just as simple as that.
The saga continues. Here's another Woj bomb. The Lakers' first offer to the Pelicans for Anthony Davis. LA offered Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma, Rajon Rondo, Michael Beasley, and a first-round pick. Who you do not see listed there is one Brandon Ingram. So a lot of moving parts in this Anthony Davis trade saga. But the number one question, is the deal going to get done before the trade deadline at 3 o'clock on Thursday? Because you heard Anthony Davis say sooner rather than later is what he'd prefer.
Well, it's all based upon what are you willing to offer if you're the Lakers. And Magic put out something that didn't get a bite. And I think that, going forward, they're going to ask or require, everything is safe outside LeBron James. That's clear. So they're going to require Zubac. They're going to want Kuzma. They're going to want Ingram. They're going to want possibly another pick. And they probably even say throw in Josh Hart. So when you ask for pretty much the whole young nucleus, the whole young foundation, and obviously Ball also, they're going to want all those pieces acquired in this situation. And, I was able to talk to a source very close to this situation. And the word was, if it's anyone besides the Los Angeles Lakers, you have to understand that it will be a rental situation. It would not be like Paul George's situation where, you may hope that he's going to buy into the culture and then you're able to sign him in free agency. It's not going to happen.
So just to make sure we understand this correct, you're saying that a source says that no matter where Anthony Davis is traded, the Los Angeles Lakers, that's the long-term destination.
That is his long-term destination. And, I quote, you can drive the Ferrari, but you cannot keep it. Ooh. It will be a lease, not a own.
Ooh. Well, in that case, Rex, what's a fair trade for Anthony Davis? Because, again, Brandon Ingram is apparently the guy that wasn't included in that. We saw when Chris Paul got traded to Houston, 7 players and a draft pick. So this is not territory we haven't been in
I
before.
think Magic offered Rob Pelinka today also.
It almost sounded like the Clippers situation when Doc Rivers was involved in the trade.
Right.
You know what I mean? To get him over there.
I think for the Lakers, obviously, they want to get it done. Watching Anthony, Kentucky, University of Kentucky, watching Anthony Davis just then, I don't know that I can remember a player, a great player, in a long while that has been more ready to get up out of where he is. He's ready to go. You can see it in every answer he gives. And look, I follow him, obviously, from his college days. I'm a fan. He's a guy who sacrificed. He sacrificed when DeMarcus went in there. He plays winning basketball. He knows how to do that, and I think he's ready to get back to that. He's given a lot to this franchise, and I think he's just ready to go.
Here's my thing, and this is why I get upset, because so many times people say, well, he's bailing out on the organization. That's not the case here. When you have an individual who's 25 in the prime, and I want the viewers and the listeners to understand this and hear this well and see this as I'm telling it to you. If you're 25 years old, just put yourself in this kid's situation. Where would you want to be? It's a couple organizations around the association that get it right. And we're talking about money and all-stars and all that. All the personal accomplishments is amazing. But you're talking about winning now. Lakers, Miami, Detroit, Mavs, Spurs, Warriors, Bulls. These are the teams that won championships in the more recent in the recent past. And he want to submit his legacy going forward.
Preach tough, Juice.
And certainly to back that up, Anthony Davis, by requesting this trade, apparently is going to leave $80 million on the table. So clearly legacy more important than money for Anthony Davis in this situation. We have breaking news. According to Chris Haynes, LeBron James will not play tonight against the Golden State Warriors due to, quote, load management. League sources tell Yahoo Sports. Now, LeBron James played 44 minutes in his first game back. The Lakers are facing the Golden State Warriors, the same team he hurt his groin against on Christmas Day. Rex, what do you make of this?
KD-itis. He's ducking KD. Steph-itis. Clay-itis. No. I was surprised he played 44 minutes the other night. Obviously, it's a little bit of a maintenance move, right?
Yeah. I thought he said it, prior to this game, right after he played so many minutes. It's going to be one of the situations that I have to see how my body respond, because we don't know. We run an emotional high after a basketball game. Everything's still feeling good. You got to win. You look extremely sharp after being off for so many months, you know what I mean, since playing, December 25th?
Yep.
So now he's back, and he probably felt a little ailments and, probably just took the safe approach and getting back out there.
Well, Caron, before he returned, you said, look, LeBron doesn't look like he's 100% from seeing him in practice. So where do you think he was when he returned if he wasn't 100%?
I think he was somewhere between 75 and 80, and that's still better than 80% of the association. So when you're able to go out there with his high basketball IQ, and just mind you, if LeBron's out there on the basketball court, the coverages change. You have to give him so much attention that it enables other guys to be the best possible version of themselves, have an open opportunity.
How old is LeBron now?
34.
34. You start, and this makes sense. It's a maintenance move.
Yeah.
You don't get groins and hamstrings when you're 24, but you start getting them later on. And when you start getting them, you really you've got to be careful to not come back and do too much too fast.
Young player that seems to be taking a bit of the load on his shoulders. Brandon Ingram recently really carrying this team offensively with no Lonzo Ball in the lineup as well.
Really nice player, and you've kind of been waiting for him. You saw, the length and all the skill set when he was at Duke, and he's really, he got suspended early in the year, starting to put it together. He's a beautiful offensive player.
Yeah, he's a complete player. We went from, scoring the basketball in the paint with his wiry strength to now, being able to have that mid-range consistent shot, and now playing with LeBron and Rondo. He's been able to, start knocking down perimeter shots, catch and shoot, not holding the ball. 1,000, 1,000 type of player, and that's exactly what you need.
So he's averaging 22.5 over his last 6 games. So when we look at this Laker young core, and we talk about the Anthony Davis trade, and we saw that Brandon Ingram allegedly was not, or reportedly not, in that trade offer, is he now the crown jewel of this young group?
I think so. I think
Yes.
you want to have him to.
Yes.
Body language says yes, Caron.
And so does the smile. Look at it. Look, he knows it.
I mean, who do you think is the guy? The
Lonzo.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it varies, man. It goes back and forth.
I'm with you. You know I'm with you.
I feel like you're being very, very tight-lipped on this situation, as if you don't want to give us too much information. That's fine. But just judging from talent and what they produce, Rex, who do you say is the crown jewel of that young group? Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, who, don't forget, that 27th pick that they used on Kyle Kuzma came over from that D'Angelo Russell trade with Brooklyn. So they got him essentially replacing a young D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah. You know, there's some thought that maybe they got rid of D'Angelo a little too soon.
Yeah.
You know, I know some of us think that, but yes, I think Brandon Ingram is the crown jewel in the piece of the puzzle. And at some point, they're going to have to give it. They're going to have to give it up if they want to get AD done now.
Me personally, I'm a huge Kyle Kuzma guy.
Yeah, I am too.
I love an underdog, and I think that, just from last season, when you talk about adversity, I think he was the guy that was in the forefront, the poster child. In all the interviews, saying all the right things, having the coach back, even when, Father Ball was out there saying miscellaneous things. I just felt like he kept the foundation sound, thought he was the voice of reason, and he showed great composure and leadership, not just by talking, but actually playing and demonstrating it on the court also.
Well, someone who's shown leadership in the NBA Finals in big situations, one Kyrie Irving. But this week, he had some situations off the court in Madison Square Garden. They started chanting for him to come play for the New York Knicks. But here's Kyrie after the Celtics won that game.
You did hear the chants, Kyrie?
Are you reaching for it right now?
No, I couldn't hear everything.
Everybody heard it. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Do you laugh at all when you hear it? I mean, a lot of guys get cheered. Good players get cheered when they come here. That's a little different.
Like I said, it's nothing but distraction at this point. You know what I mean? Like I said, again, I'm appreciative of the cheers. I'm appreciative of the fan support that I get around the league in every arena. Obviously, being back home, what has been said, I repeat myself again, what has been said, what has been circling around in terms of extra commentary, I kind of figured it was going to be something like that tonight. I'm just happy we got the win, and I'm ready to go back to Boston. I think you know the answer to that, man. It's just, obviously you would hope it would quiet down, but like I said, it doesn't help when, across the league, it's just outside noise again, and my name gets thrown into it, and then, conversations, speculations, everybody's worried about their credibility. I don't know how this media empire works. I know it's a bunch of nonsense to me. So I have a focus in winning the championship this year, and that's where my focus is going to stay. So, even me saying something like that is not concrete enough for anybody. So, it is what it is. I got to go home and take care of my family and friends, and that's the stuff where it really matters for me. Loving the game of basketball, that's where it's always going to be. I didn't do this for the media. I didn't do this for the money. I didn't do this for the fans. I did it because I love the game, and I work extremely hard at my craft, and I want to be one of the greatest ever. So that's where my focus is. You know what I mean? It's going to come. I'm appreciative how, grateful I am. I'm grateful for all the, everybody identifying the talents that I am, who wants to play with me. I'm appreciative of that. But at the end of the day, like I said this morning, I'm going to make the best decision for me and my family, and that's how it's going to go.
There is so much there with Kyrie Irving. I think the thing you're laughing about is the fact that he says, I don't know how this media thing works. He seems to be pretty good at it. In fact, when you're the lead in a major motion picture and was also an actor in high school, don't forget that as well. Kyrie Irving, a very overall talented guy.
Not familiar with this media empire, wearing an Uncle Drew hat during the interview.
Excellent product placement.
Excellent.
Yes.
He's a brilliant guy. I love him. I do love him. And I love that Kyrie, he likes to talk. He's good in front of the camera. You can tell he's a little bit bothered. And look, I didn't play in an era where we had social media, the 24-hour news cycle, all this time. This is where I give you guys and this era so much credit. I don't know how you do it, and this is where I don't think these guys make enough money having to deal with this type of media crush. He can't leave his hotel right now without people just knocking his door down trying to get at him.
He's got a $21 million player option for next season. Seems like that will not be exercised. So where will he play next year? Will he be in a Boston uniform?
It's possible that he can be in a Boston uniform. I think that he will most likely be in the Big Apple. And I just think that, when you talk about the move of Porzingis and Tim Hardaway and Steve Mills and those guys did an excellent job of creating that cap space to acquire a guy like Kyrie Irving or Kevin Durant or whoever. You know what I mean? Even possibly a Jimmy Butler or whatever, because, you know, he's still not looking extremely happy there in Philadelphia. And look, Kyrie is just a pleasure to play with. He's a champion. He's a perennial all-star. He's someone that loves the game of basketball, which he stated. And obviously you see, this kid did not grow up playing against ghosts and basketball cones. He's been playing against live bodies, activity, and it's showing. He's a gamer. I want the best for him and his family, and he's passionate about his craft.
So it should be interesting to see what the Boston Celtics do. If that's the case, maybe before the trade deadline, we could see a Kyrie Irving trade. And, man, that would be huge. We've got 12 games again tonight, 24 teams for the simple math on that. And here are some updates of notable players. Chris Paul sitting this one out for rest. LeBron James out, same designation. Eric Bledsoe also out with an Achilles.
Out for rest.
Hey,
it
you
just
know what?
Still looks weird.
It looks like, you know, when you're growing up.
Rest.
You know, when you go to the hospital, you go, you know, when you're younger, you break your arm, you break your leg, you tear something. Now when you get older, you slept wrong. You get out of bed, you can't do nothing. Like, it's all those things happening right now.
Well, you know who is playing? How about one Lou Will? Age not affecting him. And look at that, top score. The Clippers have fought their way back in this after being down by double digits in the second half.
He's a gamer.
NBA.
Charlotte Hornets beat the Memphis Grizzlies tonight 100-92, pulling away late. All-star starter Kemba Walker, 7 of 17 for 23 points as the Hornets win for the 6th time in their last 9 games. And there it is in numerical form. And here he is. Eastern Conference starter Kemba Walker joining us here on Game Time. Kemba, good to have you with us as always. Want to get to you in a moment, but what does it mean for your team when you have Malik Monk kind of doing his thing off the bench as he did tonight with 20 points?
Oh, it means a lot. It means a lot, especially in the fourth. You know, a lot of teams expect me to be going off and, you know, doing a lot of the scoring. So, you know, when guys come in and step up the way Malik stepped up and the way Marv stepped up tonight, I mean, it just takes a lot of pressure off myself. So that was huge.
Kemba, you guys have dealt with injuries throughout the year, but you've kept it together. You guys have been incredibly consistent. How have you guys been able to persevere through all of that?
Just having each other's back. You know, this league is all about next man up. You know, it's some injuries are very unfortunate, but it happens in this game, and you know, we just encourage the next guy to step up and make plays. Like, you know, Cody went out, and right now Biz is playing outstanding for us. That's how it has to be.
Kemba, you know, I was in the dunk contest 30 years ago in Charlotte with Kendall Gill, and what I want to know, what's it going to feel like representing the Charlotte Hornets in the city of Charlotte, not only as an all-star, but as a starter?
Man, I don't even know, man. I just know I'm probably going to have goosebumps. But it's going to be amazing. This is definitely an amazing accomplishment. But I'm super, super excited to be representing this city, this organization, and my family, you know, in this All-Star game.
So have you worked out the draft in your mind yet? I mean, this is a new wrinkle going from last year to this year now, but you're one of the starters. You know you're going to be one of those top 10 picks somewhere. Have you sort of plotted out who's going to go where yet?
Nah, I have no idea, but you know, whatever happens, happens. I don't really care. I don't think anyone cares at this point. You know, we're all all-stars at the end of the day, and to make it even more special, we're starting. So, yeah, it's gonna be exciting.
Are you a pro broadcast or anti-broadcast when it comes to the draft?
Anti.
Depends on where you go, right?
Yeah, probably.
I can understand that. We don't like to see it, but I completely get that point of view as well. Hey, thanks for taking the time. As always, we'll see you in Charlotte for All-Star Weekend.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
All right, Kemba Walker with us after a 23-point night for the Hornets. Would you want, if you're involved in this, would you want to broadcast?
Yes. Yeah.
You're okay with that?
Yeah. Hey, I don't care if I'm the last pick of 24.
I wouldn't either. Like, you're an all-star, right? It's like being the poorest billionaire.
That's
it's
right.
still a pretty
Come
good deal.
Yeah, it's a good hand you've been dealt.
Yeah.
What's that like?
I wouldn't know. I just
You just said it so good.
Poorest billionaire. It seems like an okay thing, right?
Yeah, not a
I'm
bad
last
gig.
on the billionaires.
Yeah, poor me.
Yeah, too bad.
Tough deal.
Because I want to see it. I don't know how that would play out. I don't know if people would be offended or not. I don't know.
I can't imagine they would.
No.
I wouldn't think so either. But
I think Dirk's probably going to go last.
Yeah.
Think about that. We're joking about that.
Are they getting drafted?
Yeah, I don't even know.
They got to get drafted.
Are they part of?
Do they? I don't know.
They got to get drafted.
Okay. Well, then they probably will be drafted last.
Yeah. See. Dirk's not upset.
He
think he'll be upset?
Dirk's in his 40s. He shouldn't be upset.
I played against Dirk.
Yeah. That's exactly right. Thoughts on the Hornets, where they are right now, which by the end of the night could be 7th rather than 8th, and their big picture and where that guy fits in, Kemba Walker.
Yeah, first a huge nod to Kemba, the way he's handled this. Every player has a right to choose. He's worked his way into being a great player, and he's an unrestricted free agent. And he has been incredible. He has said all the things that you hope a player in his situation says. It doesn't mean he won't make a choice, and he has a right to make that choice, but you really respect that. But then you start to look at the books going forward for Charlotte. And just some quick math, their top 5 salaries is like almost $104 million when you plug Kemba in at his max slot at about $33 million or just under $33 million bucks. A team that has never gone into the tax, and that's 5 players. You got to get 9 more in there,
right.
And that's not including $3 million for Miles Bridges or another $3.5 million from Malik Monk. So it gets really tight going in the future with a lot of contracts that it's going to be unlikely that they're going to be able to move. So their future, it's going to be incumbent upon that front office to do what they did this summer and draft a guy like Devontae Graham in the 2nd round and continue to complement the roster that way. But the financials get tight.
Kemba's terrific. I love what he's done. Everybody's always sort of plotted against him, picked on him a little bit, and he overcomes. Muggsy was beloved in that city forever, still is. Kemba's every bit as beloved in that city. He's done an unbelievable job. He comes to play every night. He's durable. He's great in the community. He's going to have a tough decision to make, and the Hornets are as well.
Yeah. No, and there's nothing wrong with any of that. He's done the right things. They're going to have to figure this out. He's going to have to figure it out, and that's just the way the business works.
That's right.
All right, more to come here on Game Time, presented by State Farm. Checking on the Hawks and the Jazz. Hawks in the middle of this marathon 7-game road trip in Salt Lake City tonight. That's Jake Crowder for 3.
And we're kicking Kyle 3-point.
Al Korver.
And the finger
with
roll.
the giant
Putting it
killer.
on the floor.
Okay.
What? Okay, KK.